Now, according to our drawing, our bottom quarters are going to be an 8-inch radius. In the previous drawing, I went from 5.5, so I bumped it up to an 8-inch radius. I think that's going to be easier to handle the material that we're going to be bending around this. So 8-inch radius on the bottom. So first one, I used a set of dividers, and what I did is I measured up 8 inches, made a mark, 8 inches, make a mark. Also on this side, 8 inches, make a mark, an 8-inch, make a mark. Take a straight edge, connect my lines on my 8-inch marks. They gave me the center for my radius. Then I take my dividers, I spread them so I had a good 8 inches, and then I take the point, put it on my mark, and drew my line. And that's how I got my 8-inch radius for this corner. But what if you don't have a set of dividers? And I don't have a set of dividers for the top section, which is going to be a 24-inch radius. So what do? First thing we're going to do is we're going to find the center for our radius. So once again, we're going to measure over 8 inches, make a mark, somewhere up in here and make another mark, 8 inches. Then we'll take our straight edge, make a small line. Then we're also going to come over 8 inches. Oops, sorry. Go this way. 8 inches right here. And make a mark. That is now the center of my radius. So if you don't have a set of dividers, find you a piece of wood. In this case, I've got a piece of cardboard as a corner. Came out of some packaging. I thought I'd hold on to it because it would come in handy. So I'm going to use this to make my radius. And how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take my tape measure and I'm going to mark out 8 inches. I'm going to make a point, and then 8 inches over, make another point. So when you get done, you have a mark that's 8 inches wide. Then using a small drill bit, we're going to take and we're going to tap a couple holes in our cardboard here. Perfect. A couple holes in that, works great. We're going to take our drill bit and we're going to poke it into the hole that we just drilled. And we're going to set it right on our point of our mark. Then we'll take a pencil, poke it in the other hole, and we'll just slowly rotate that around. And that gives us a nice radius for our corner at 8 inches. And 8 inches right here. So we're good to go with that corner, and now we got these corners lines are starting to show up really nice, and we have one piece left, the front, for our radius, and we'll do the same thing. I've got a piece of cardboard here that I can mark out 24 inches, and I'll find my point for the 24 inches, and I'll make a radius for the front. So we have our lines spaced at 6 inches apart. So I know I got 6, 12, 18, 24 right there. So what we're going to do is just take on our 24-inch mark, come down, make a mark at 24. Take our small drill bit, poke it through our small hole, set it on our point, 24 inch. That'll be our pivot point. We'll take our pencil. Gives us our 24-inch radius. So that's how we do the front corner. Now we've got our basic shape. Now just to show you how accurate that that method is, if we look on our drawing, we see that we have about 4 measurements, three measurements that we can measure down to see how close our line comes to our drawing. So this first measurement says it's 8 1/8 of an inch. So that's our first 6-inch drop here. And if we come across, put our tape measure there, 8 1/8 inch. Our next one is 3 3/16. And look at that. I'm sitting at 3 3/16. Next one is 3/4 of an inch. And we are right on the line. So the dimensions are accurate, and the method I just showed you how to make that arc. And if your lines are true, you know, if they're not, if they're straight up and down and vertical, you're going to get an exact measurement. So that's how you lay out this template for lofting it. So let's clean this up and talk about what we're going to do next. So we've got a good, nice, basic shape to our teardrop on what's to be our pattern that we're going to cut our walls out of. So we've got our nice 8-inch radius, follows around, takes the top of the trailer, follows around. We've got a nice 24-inch radius on the front, followed down by another 8-inch radius on the bottom front. And that is our shape for our trailer. Okay, so now that we've got it lofted out, we've got our shape. The lines look nice and straight and got a good curve to it. I'm happy with the bottom corners, top radius, all my lines and tick marks. Everything matches my drawing. So now we're ready to start cutting. So I'm going to be using a jigsaw, and I've got a very fine tooth blade that I'm going to take my time and I'm going to slowly cut around to the edge of my line. I'm not going to cut on the line, I'm just going to back it off just a little bit, and then I'll come back with either a palm sander or a straight block and then sand to the line. That way I've got a nice shape to it that I can call a template. Because once this is cut out, then we can lay our 1/4-inch Luan on top, we'll clamp it down, and then we'll take a router and then we'll route that shape. So this is your template. This is the first starting point, so you want to make sure that that is as accurate as can be. You want it nice and smooth. Now's not a good time to have any waves in it, because everything else you make after this point is going to have those waves. So we'll get this cut out and we'll sand these edges, and then we can get ready to router our Luan for the sides. And as I said, you don't want to cut on the line, we just want to cut close to the line. Then we'll take a palm sander and a straight block and we'll fine tune that and get that nice curve that we need right here on the bottom. And we can call that good. So I'm right to my line where I want to be. I don't have any hard edges where the radius met the flat spot. You want to make sure that that's nice and smooth transition. But that's what we want to do. We want to cut to the line, and then we can sand the rest of the way and touch that line. Now we've got a good nice radius there for the bottom of our teardrop. Now all we have to do, take a jigsaw, cut the rest of our lines out, and repeat the process. So Now's a good time. Get out your jigsaw, cut your line, and then come back with a sanding block, piece of 2x4 with a sandpaper wrapped around it, or get you a palm sander if you don't already have one, and start sanding everything nice and smooth so you get nice curves. And then we'll be ready to put our Luan on there and router for our sidewall. We now have the basic shape for our teardrop trailer. So our top curve is nice and smooth, radius on the front, coming down to a radius on the bottom, nice and flat, and then a radius on the back. So we do have a nice shape on that. So this is our shape. So we've got a nice curve on the front, nice curve on the bottom, got a nice nice shape to the top. So I think that's going to make a very nice teardrop. Yep. So our next step is to take our 1/4 inch Luan. We're going to lay on here and we're going to clamp it along the bottom, and then we're going to take a router and we're going to trim all the way around to the top, and then we'll take our clamps and clamp it here on the sides, and then we'll finish routering here on the bottom. We'll do that to 2 sheets, and then we'll have our side Luan cut ready for Filon to be installed, and pretty much done with this template. We'll take our next 3/4 or 1/2 inch particle board, set this on there, and we'll route this shape on that, and then we've got a notch that we need to cut out on the top all the way down to the bottom here, and that'll be for the inside ceiling. So I hope that you find the drawings useful. I hope that I gave a good enough explanation on how to loft it out, how to cut it and shape it, and get our nice curve on the top. And hopefully you're following along, not sitting on the sofa all day long, all week long. So time to get things done. So with that, we're going to call this one a wrap. Next step is to cut our sides, and then we'll begin on the flooring and do a little bit of Filon. We got to get some Filon on the bottom of the floor, and at the same time we'll go ahead and do Filon on the sides as well. So we'll set those aside and have those ready. So yeah, when we start putting it together. So just in case you haven't figured out, the 1/2 inch maple is for the inside wall, 1/4 inch is going to be the outside, and we're going to laminate those together. We got the Filon, 1/4 inch, and 1/2 inch, and should come together pretty well. So hope you found the video useful. If you haven't already, please like and give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Stay tuned. Click the bell notification. That way when I upload another video, you can continue following along on the build, and hey, we can start building these together. So thanks for watching, and as always, stay tuned.